It's just the smell and the motion and pretty much the people as well. Yeah, I love it.
Fire, steam, oil and a lot of passion breathe life into these powerful machines. They are relics of a time when life was slower.
It takes about 2.5 hours for them to warm up nicely. If you raise them too quickly, that's when we get cracking, so it causes thermal stress across the board.
This is the first time this engine has been fired up in 2 years. The Marshall Portable holds a special place for Pavey Sims. It's how she learnt the craft of steam engines.
Well, I grew up with going to tractor shows and steam fest with my grandfather and my father. I grew up in my father's shed, but I've always had a love for steam. We've restored quite a few tractors as well and cars and that sort of thing, but you know, I kind of wanted to beat Dad at certain things, and he hasn't got a steam ticket and I have, so that was a good thing.
For much of the 1800s, Tasmania grew more cereal crops than any other state in Australia. The Pern family bought a steam engine and set up a harvest contracting business. After World War II, steam was superseded by diesel. Steam engines were used as scrap.
The three Pern brothers, Jack, Burden and Zenith, were the third generation farming contractors here in the Meander Valley, and they were born engineers. They thoroughly loved their engineering, even though they only went to the local primary school. And as steam gave way to internal combustion and the tractors started coming in, they kept their beloved steam engines and anybody else's they could find, which was so wonderful. They were like magpies. They had such an interest in machinery, agricultural machinery, that they not just the steam engines, but the tractors and the headers and all sorts of the ancillary machinery, they started collecting. So they ended up with this vast collection.
It's now one of the largest single collections of steam traction engines in the Southern Hemisphere. In the 1980s, it was put on display, creating Pern's Steam World in Westbury, northern Tasmania.
In 2002, the Pern brothers, knowing that they had to do something for the future, signed the whole of the collection over to the Westbury Preservation Association so that they could maintain it even when the brothers had passed on.
There's plenty of history inside these sheds, but the real piece de resistance is waiting outside. After more than 2 years and well over $100,000, it's now fully restored and is making its debut today. The Aveling and Porter, built in 1926, was originally used in Hobart for public works, and it helped build dams in the rugged and mountainous Tasmanian west coast. Later, it ran up and down the fertile fields around Westbury. Boilermaker Michael Howe restored it.
Various people call him a tradesman, some people call him a craftsman. I would say yes, and an artist. He is an artist in metal.
Every child that comes here, even little toddlers know what a steam engine is, and they see something like that, and instantly, they know what it is, and they want to ride, and that's what it's about. It's about seeding the disease in the next generation.
Well, I want to ride. Can I take a spin?
My word, let's do it.
All right. Steam seems to make children of us all.
We're away.
Every year, the museum hosts a Steam Up, where enthusiasts can see machines in action or showcase their own steam engines of any shape or size.
I wish I was born 100 years ago and had this for a full-time job. Yeah, no, I think I was born too late, I think.
Alongside the story of progress in machinery is a parallel but invisible story about the enduring role of women on the land. Pern sisters, Jean, Anne and Ruth, have farming and tractors in their blood. In the museum established by their father and his brothers, they've set up an exhibition about rural women.
So this is not what you expect to find somewhere that advertises itself about having tractors and steam trains and that sort of thing. What's the idea behind this setup here?
Well, women have always contributed to life on the land, haven't always been recognised. But our mother, Jessie, she put in a lot of effort into the complex, and we thought when she died it was really important that we recognise her contribution.
Because your great-grandmother, she was such a pioneer at the time.
Absolutely. Edith, in the late 1890s, her and her husband, John, bought a steam engine and went agricultural contracting, and he died in 1901 from a farming accident. And so she, with 8 of her 11 children still surviving, went on to be known as Mrs. Pern Contractor.
And that's significant that she was known as contractor, because it took so long for women to even be able to claim the word farmer.
Oh, absolutely. In 1994, of course, as many would know that watch Landline, our legal status was sleeping partner, non-productive.
Luke Cole has been volunteering at SteamWorld for over 3 years.
I like it because I can do stuff.
Are you having fun with it?
Yeah, it's so far so good.
It's not the first motor he's actually renovated. He's also done a lister with us as well, and he's been involved in restoring some pumps, as well as doing various bits and pieces around the museum and indeed the gardens. We all go at our own pace at these projects, so someone like Luke can be moving along with his project at his pace. There's no pressure of a particular time and all that, and if he wants to stop and have a break or just chat with others, and there's plenty of the older guys will come and talk to him about the engine that he's doing, giving some advice and so on and so forth.
It's really good for mental health. You know, you feel like you've achieved something, and I find that, you know, a lot of the older guys feel like they can't talk to people outside of the organisation and all that sort of thing, and coming here or to other organisations really brings a purpose to them, and they open up and, you know, they really feel like they've achieved something.